Have you ever wondered how young trees grow in huge forests where the growing saplings cannot actually reach the sun? You've probably learned about photosynthesis when you were in elementary school or middle school, maybe even high school, where trees would take sunlight and water and they would create oxygen and sugar. And that sugar would be transformed into glucose and transported throughout the tree for food. But what about small trees, like some of the small trees behind me that they can't actually reach the sunlight? How do they get nutrients? How do they grow to be able to replace the older trees who are spanning up in the sky and their leaves are taking all of the sunlight from all of the underbrush below? Peter Wohlleben is a forester and an author, and for years he taught that trees could actually talk to each other. There was a network underground that they could communicate and pass nutrients to each other. Now, for years, scientists laughed at him and said, how could that possibly be? But 5 years ago, he wrote a book called The Hidden Life of Trees, and it's sold now over 2 million copies because scientists have discovered he's onto something. It's called the mycorrhizal network, and there's a type of fungus that will actually connect to the roots of all of the trees and plants in any given forest. It allows them to communicate with each other and actually pass nutrients to each other. The fungi absorb some of the glucose that the tree produces, but then it also provides this, what scientists now call the wood wide web, that allows them to communicate. Now, interestingly, when we look in Scripture about how do young Christians grow, it's very similar to the network that we are now reading about that are happening underground in the forests around us. There's a way that people are meant to grow in their faith, and there's a method that Scripture gives us to cause that to happen. I want to talk about that this weekend because we're on a journey to be rooted, to grow deep, and to live strong. And one of the ways we do that is we help those who are coming up behind us. So I hope you will join us as we continue this series to determine and to discover how do we grow deep and how do we live strong.